On this channel, we provide useful programming information with practical code examples. This time, we will cover operators in SAS. We will explain operators in SAS with practical examples. Enabling subtitles will make the code descriptions easier to understand. SAS operators include numeric operations, comparison operations, logical operations, and string manipulations. SAS supports standard arithmetic, but division / is confusing with CSS's /, so using math.div is recommended. Numbers can have units, and operations are only possible between compatible units. Below are examples of simple arithmetic and usage of the Math module. When you compile the SAS file to CSS, it will look like this. This code is an example of addition and multiplication with the px unit, and division using math.div. Incompatible units like 10px plus 2m will result in an error or unintended results. Unify units or use unit and unit-less functions. SAS handles numbers with units, and the unit rules for calculation results follow general physical rules. For example, px/px becomes unitless. Be careful with unit management when using unit function or after math.div. Below are examples showing how to handle mixing unit and unitless values. When you compile the SAS file to CSS, it will look like this. Multiplying values with and without units works as expected, but be careful with the resulting unit, or lack thereof, when dividing. SAS has comparison operators, which can be used for branching in conditionals, if, and mixins. Comparison of complex types such as colors and lists follows their own rules. Note that color comparisons differ depending on the color space. Below is an example that compares two numbers and branches the style. When you compile the SAS file to CSS, it will look like this. Comparison operators can be combined with if for responsive and conditional style rules. SAS supports and, or, and not. Use and, or to combine multiple conditions. Precedence and evaluation order can be made explicit using parentheses. Below is an example of handling complex conditions using logical operators. When you compile the SAS file to CSS, it will look like this. The precedence of and, or can be clarified with parentheses. For complex conditions, using parentheses helps maintain readability and safety. In SAS, string concatenation can be done using plus or hash interpolation. The result of the plus operator depends on whether the left string is quoted or unquoted, so using predictable hash interpolation is safer. Below are examples of concatenation and interpolation. When you compile the SAS file to CSS, it will look like this. Using interpolation, hash avoids issues with quotes and unintended whitespace insertion. In the past, SAS supported color arithmetic, which allowed you to add or subtract numbers to colors. However, color arithmetic is now deprecated, and you should use functions from the SAS color module to manipulate colors. Below are examples showing that direct color arithmetic is deprecated and suggested alternatives. When you compile the SAS file to CSS, it will look like this. If you want to manipulate colors, use functions from the SAS color module. Use parentheses to control the order of evaluation in operations. Parentheses are always evaluated before operations outside them. Use parentheses in complex expressions to maintain readability. Below are examples of clarifying evaluation order with parentheses. When you compile the SAS file to CSS, it will look like this. As with mathematics, precedence rules apply, so use parentheses to ensure calculations occur in the intended order. When using operators in SAS, it is important to write code with future compatibility and readability in mind. In complex expressions, clarify calculation order by using parentheses, and prioritize code readability. The source code for this video can be downloaded from the official website. If you like, please visit the URL in the description to aid your learning. If you found this video helpful, I would appreciate your support by subscribing to the channel.